Today, we're talking shadow people. What are they? Can they hurt you? How do they appear? Up next. All right, guys, shadow people. What are they? Shadow people are an interdimensional being that feeds off negative energy. Some people say they're a ghost, a spirit, or a demon. But I'm here to tell you, they're an interdimensional being that comes from the other side of the veil. And they feed off depression. If you are depressed, if you're sad, if you had a loved one die, if you had multiple things happening in your life and you're severely depressed, there's a high chance you're gonna see a shadow person, okay? I've seen a shadow person twice in my life. The first time I saw a shadow person, severely depressed in my own head, and off to the corner, on the other side of the room, on the corner of my eye, I saw a black figure standing there. The second I turned my head and looked at it, it vaporized into black smoke and was gone. The very next day, I came into the same room, sat on the couch. I could feel there was a presence. And I had a bag of toys that was laying on the floor that was getting ready to go out to the garbage from my oldest daughter. And there was like the Elmo doll in there and a couple other ones. They talk when you have batteries in them and they say, "I feel great," and the other ones say other things. That's what was in that bag. As I was sitting there and I felt a presence, one of the toys began talking in the bag by itself. Now, after 15 plus years, there is no way that those batteries were still good in that toy. So I just had this overwhelming sense that something was in the room with me again. So I broke out my phone, I pressed record, and I asked it, "If you're the entity that was here yesterday, can you please show me a sign?" And sure enough, the second I asked that, the toy started talking in the bag. Totally freaked me out. Totally freaked me out, guys. And that happens. They'll feed off that negative energy and they'll materialize. If you have other things like that, like toys with the voice box in them and stuff like that, they can communicate through that speaker. Are you trying to talk to me through the game? Through the toy? Can you please play the toy for me again? Please? Thank you. I appreciate that. All right. So if you're still feeling that negative energy and you got something with a speaker like that, there's a chance it could talk through that. Now, the second time I had an experience with a shadow person was in Gettysburg. I was in a bed and breakfast hotel. It was about 2, 3 in the morning. I was half asleep, coming out of sleep in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom, or whatever reason. I was waking up out of my dream, out of my sleep, and I was in that half asleep state. And the bathroom light was on. The bathroom was straight ahead, right in back of the bed. So the minute you sit up, you're looking right at the bathroom door. The light was on, and you could see right in the center of the door frame, a black entity just standing there. I'm getting the chills now just talking about it. And I asked it, I said, "What do you want? What are you? Who are you?" And at first I'm thinking it was somebody from the hotel, somebody there. I don't know what they were doing in the room, but it was there standing in front of me. And I said, "What do you want?" And as soon as I said that, it was like, do you ever see in the scary movies when there's a glitch and the figure goes and it comes towards you? That's exactly what this did. It came right next to me on my right hand side and was standing there and was blacker than black, blacker than anything in the room. The bathroom light was on and there were shadows all around. Behind me it was all dark, and this thing was darker than everything else. And as it was standing there, my eyes started seeing this black shadow come towards it, like a black blob, and it just touched my face. And the second I felt that it touched my face, I slung the blankets over my head and I was gone. I'm like, I'm out. And I stayed there under the blankets until the very morning, till the next day. I stayed there for 3 more days and I didn't see it again. But guys, that's how they appear. out of nowhere and when you least expect it, and they feed off that negative energy. Okay, so if I'll tell you one thing, there's some people that say when they're sleeping at night, they have problems with these shadow people hovering over them and waking them up, and they're choking them and suffocating them in their sleep. That's a whole different level, folks. If you have something like that going on, you need to get professional help, okay? It's not like me. I just saw them, they came and went, and I never seen them again. If you have one suffocating you in your sleep and doing physical harm to you, you need to go see a professional, a priest, whatever. Get somebody over the house and do what you got to do, all right? Because that's a different scenario and that's more serious, And these interdimensional beings, they feed off that negative energy. And if you're, in that constant state, and you have one, and you're making one strong enough, it could stick around a lot longer. All right, guys. So just keep that in mind. Now, should you tell somebody, I saw a shadow person? Listen, guys, 99% of people do not see shadow people, okay? If you're happy, you're not going to see a shadow person, okay? If you're in a good place in your life, you're probably not going to see a shadow person because they feed off that negative energy. It's like regular spirits. I'm sure you guys have heard this. They feed off energy, running water, electrical devices, things like that. If you provide a spirit box, they communicate through that. They need energy. It's the same thing with shadow people, folks. It's just a different type of energy. Okay, shadow people feed off negative energy. Spirits feed off regular energy like electricity and running water and things like that. Okay, so you're gonna go out and tell people you see a shadow person. Most likely they're not gonna believe you because, like I said, most people don't see them unless they're severely depressed and they're in that state of mind. Now, there's other interdimensional beings out there that might surprise you. There's actually one that most people don't consider an interdimensional being that I do. And we're going to talk about it in the next video. What can that be? It's actually a very popular being that a lot of people see on a regular basis, okay? Reports coming in from all over. And I'm going to talk about it in the next video, and you're going to be surprised what it is. Guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.